I'm always busy, aren't you?
I try not to be busy. I don't know. It's a balance. We talk
I got
about
like a ton of shit going on in my world. You know that.
Yeah. You are way too busy, in my opinion. I don't know how you do it. I really
I
don't.
either.
You got a lot of balls in the air, a lot of things going on. You're putting more miles on a truck I do in probably 15 years. You do in probably 2 years. You said 150 on the truck?
The past couple of weeks has been nuts, and I'm feeling it though. I'm feeling run down. I'm feeling tired.
Got to take a break.
No, there's no. You can't. Like, we talked about this, and this is probably why we're together. I need therapy today, so thank you. This is the cheapest. I've never had a therapist before, but you're the closest I've ever come to having one.
Well, you did buy me a hamburger in Little Rock, so I think
would have bought you a steak, but you were like, no, hamburger's good.
Those steaks were like $50.
It's a fucking steak. What do you pay for steak?
Half that? I don't know. To be honest, I don't even look at prices. Look at me. Do I look like a guy who looks at prices? At least when I'm paying.
Definitely not. No, that was fun. Little Rock was great. Excuse me while I wrap up my wrapper. I was just saying before I hit record that I treated myself to an incredible sandwich today. I've been so good with the diet and so on, and today was just one of those days, man. I'm feeling tired and worn down. I was like, man, I want a good lunch, so I was hungry. So I got myself a pretty damn good sandwich from a New Jersey Italian deli.
Nice.
Fresh focaccia, rosemary and sea salt focaccia with olive oil spread over. Cut that sucker open. Mortadella, stracciatelle, which is like, it's like burrata mozzarella. So it's like mozzarella. You open it, and it's like the loose inside of mozzarella and burrata. That's stracciatelle. So they spread that over, and then pistachio pieces, like chopped up pistachio, and like a spread. And then that's just, you put that in a sandwich, and that's just a slice of heaven, bro. You don't fucking eat chips with that. You are the classless, incredibly classless right now.
Every sandwich should have chips. There's a rule in my household. You never go in and get a sandwich for me, and you better bring back some sort of chip.
I get that, but like, these sandwiches are their own. Like, you can't.
I get it's an experience.
They don't need an accoutrement. They just need to stand alone.
I've never been angry eating chips, even after a great sandwich. If you would have paid for that $50 steak in Little Rock, I would have asked for chips. I've never been mad with chips.
The service wasn't.
Yeah, it was actually. We went to another hotel to eat in their steakhouse, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, what? Then there were like great restaurants right down the road. Like, what were we doing?
Well, that one looked like it had cloth napkins, and I wasn't dressed for cloth napkins. But
I've gotten to a point in life where I'm okay dressed how I'm dressed. Wherever I want to go, I'm gonna go. I've done okay in life to not have to put loafers on to go eat a fucking steak.
Yeah, well,
that's where I am. What are they gonna do? Tell me my business is not well? I've been to places where they're like, "Sir, you have to put a blazer on." I'm like, "Do you have any?" And they go, "Yeah." Oh, you've never been to like stuffy places like that, like a jacket?
I've been to one where they brought, it was way I was a kid, and they brought everyone ties.
Yeah,
you had to have a tie on. Yeah, they had like loaner ties. Go to the rack.
Right. They had loaner blazers at this one restaurant I went to because I didn't know that you needed a jacket. Right, this is probably going back 10, 15 years ago. And we walk in, and it was funny. It was the place that my wife and I we love staying there, and that's a whole part of our like engagement. Like when I asked her to marry me, type story. But we went back like years later to spend the weekend there, and it's this beautiful hotel. We stayed in like the suite, like the king suite. It was like super nice, right? So we're like, why don't we just eat here at the hotel? So we go downstairs, and the woman's like, or the maitre d', I think it was a guy. He's like, I'm sorry, sir, do you have a jacket? And I go, no. He's like, well, you need a jacket to join us in the dining room. And I was like, oh,
okay.
I'm like, do you have one? He goes, sure, let me get you one. So literally, like, I think it was the lost and found. I put this blazer on. Now, mind you, I'm dressed nice. I have a collared shirt on, nice pants. He comes back with this blazer that's like 3 sizes too small, and it's got fucking stains all over it. I think that's the jacket they give everybody that shows up without a jacket. It's the community blazer. I put that thing on. I go, I look worse in this than I do if I was just in my shirt. I go, this is so stupid, you know?
Yeah.
But that was an experience. So, and then not only that, but what do you do when you're at a restaurant with a blazer and you get warm?
Well, you take it off.
You take it off, right?
I mean, I wouldn't want to. Do rich people eat in blazers? Like,
Yeah, I think they do.
What if you get a little smudge on it?
Well, apparently they did because the jacket I was wearing had the map of Hawaii all over it. I mean, there were fucking stains up and down the damn thing.
Every 12-year-old that came in there with their parents wore that jacket, and then you.
Very well could have.
There was chicken fingers and barbecue sauce all over it. But
that restaurant didn't have chicken. I don't think they had a kids menu there.
No, there's chicken fingers. Trust me. I always ask.
My daughters and I, we went to a concert a couple weeks ago. Went to go see Korn and System of the Down.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Wild concert. I've seen Korn a bunch of times over the years. System was new. I've never seen them before. My daughters really wanted to go see them, so we go, and it's a late one. So we get home at like 1:00 in the morning, and like we stop. Our thing was always, we don't eat fast food in our house ever. Like, we're not a chain restaurant family. We're not a fast food family. But after concerts at 1:00 in the morning, we'll hit like a McDonald's drive through or like something. So we stop at Wendy's on the way back from that one.
A good one.
Got some food. Didn't get just wasn't great. We get home. We're all talking in the kitchen or whatever. And I think Lily goes in and pulls out chicken fingers from the night before. And cold chicken fingers, bro. Yes. Can we talk about how good cold chicken fingers are?
Oh, I am 48 years old and I am all in on chicken fingers.
Yeah. I'm with, not only
cold,
that.
Hot, dipped, not dipped.
I get it. I would never order them, but no, over something else, I would never, but they are the perfect filler or the perfect, thing.
So good.
They are so good. But I wonder,
there's no bone. It's just everything you see, you can dip it and eat it. It's the perfect chicken wing.
I totally get that. I like wings with bones. We'll get into that in a minute. I have a theory on that too. But chicken fingers, they're so delicious, right? Most of them are delicious. But I think for me, the only time I ever eat them is late at night, being bad, right out of the refrigerator when they're cold. And for me, that's the sign of a good night. So it's we used to go out drinking, and at the end of the night, you come home, what's in the fridge? There's chicken fingers from the day before, because there's always chicken fingers in the fridge. And it's you just grab them and go to town, right? You nosh on them. And it's you just stand in the kitchen, got a nice buzz going, and you're oh, these are good. They just hit the spot, right? And it's you're just thinking about the night. You're standing there with your buddies or your wife, or even, my kids now, they're old enough that they get dad. And so you're sitting there just noshing on chicken fingers at 1, 2 in the morning, talking about the concert we were just at. The memories, bro.
Perfect.
Right around chicken fingers.
Who doesn't want to stand around over a good chicken finger and tell a story? I mean, they're so good. I'm going to go make some after we get done here.
Think about the cup of coffee, right? The cup of coffee in the morning, right? I remember when I used to smoke, my morning cigarette and a cup of coffee were literally to die for. There was nothing better.
It's funny how coffee in the fire station is kind of that, it brings people together. You know how when you smell that burnt pot of coffee brewing, you're like, coffee. And then everybody just kind of congregates with a cup and, hey, what you doing? Grumbling and stretching and, It's just that chicken fingers is kind of the children's version of black coffee. Huh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You can roll that into your program.
Somehow I will work chicken fingers into this program. I don't know.
Listen, I think it's not to be weird, but it's the lubricant, right? It's the social lube. It's like coffee in the morning at the firehouse, right? Or coffee with your guys after a run. You stop at Dunkin' Donuts or a coffee shop and you grab a cup of coffee, and what do? You hang out for a few minutes and talk, right? It's the social lube you need to stay in tune with your people, with your guys, with each other, right? It's the chicken fingers for me and my kids, right? Late at night after a concert or whatever. It's that, right?
And we never get back from a bad call and crack a bunch of Celsius.
You going down that road, huh?
I'm pushing you. I knew I was going to be. I'm dropping little morsels and then letting him run with it. But no, it's the black coffee. It's almost like in an interview they should ask about, so how do you feel about coffee? Sweetened or, we'll let you sweeten it a little bit if you want, but you have to drink coffee. It should be a requirement.
Yeah, how about those orange juice guys? You want a cup of coffee? I have an orange juice.
I like a good cup of.
Well, I like a good orange juice too, freshly squeezed, no doubt. However, man,
do you have Waffle House up there?
No, we don't allow them in this far north.
Wonder you're losing your mind.
Well, there's a story there too.
Your sandwich, and you don't allow Waffle House.
When you order your eggs over easy,
yes,
I'm an over easy guy. I love runny yolks, but Waffle House over easy is loose whites, which is fucking disgusting. So you have to order them over medium, which is ridiculous. Like nobody wants runny whites. Nobody. It looks like mucus. Like it's disgusting. Do you want me to keep going? I will. I mean, I can rant on this for hours.
Dip your bread in.
What?
Hard eggs?
The yolk, runny yolk. Like
chopping up undercooked eggs. That's what your bread is for. I'll take a double order of bread.
Give me some rye toast with a side of salmonella.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how you got to get
runny
your immune
whites.
system built
You
up.
eat runny whites in your eggs?
When we're doing overhaul at a structure fire, we're breathing way worse stuff than runny yolks. Yolks.
I like runny yolks. Yolks can be runny. It's the white that can't be runny. That is disgusting.
I want you to undercook it as close as you can to having it raw and then serve it with 2 orders of toast. And throw in some bacon because I don't want to live too long.
How do you like your bacon?
Crunchy.
Yeah, like if you drop it, it's brittle and breaks.
Well, it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm in a super overcooked. My mother did this to me. She overcooked everything growing up. I love you, Mom, if you're listening. So I never knew that you could get runny yolks until I moved out. Found out that, oh my God. And I never knew you could have a medium rare steak. Oh my God, it's amazing. And then when you go into Waffle House, it's almost like they're tempting you to not die today. They're like, I'm gonna literally crack an egg and just put it on your plate, and then we're gonna see if you complain. And I never did, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. And that's what your toast is for. It's to mop up. It's the overhaul.
The yolk, the fucking yellow part, the orange part, right? Like that's
all of it. I want it all. I want it literally.
You're disgusting. Like runny whites.
No, my bacon. Sometimes I'm in the mood for crunchy, and sometimes I like
our friendship is being. You're testing our friendship right now.
I like the bacon sometimes to be really undercooked and just kind of Cracker Barrel style, just kind of, I don't know.
So if I'm gonna eat bacon off the tray as we're cooking it, I want it brittle. If I'm gonna eat bacon on a burger, I want it more pliable and a little chewier.
Yep. See, so it depends on the situation and the mood and what kind of mood you're in. Were you just at a Korn concert and you can't hear and you're really digging something crunchy and I don't know. I saw Korn in '96 on a really small stage in Nashville. It was before they went big, or they were just coming up. I think.
What did they say the other night or a couple of weeks ago when we saw them? I think 30-something years.
See, I was in the Army in '95. Downtown Nashville, 95, 96. There's a little Club 321. Wow, that might be right. Small stage, probably 500 people, small room. Freak on a Leash, or what is that? What's their first album with the kid on the swing set?
I don't know. I need my daughter for that. She's the music guru in my house.
Came out. Marilyn Manson was just hitting big back then. All that.
9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails. Oh my God, we were so lucky.
We had an awesome music genre.
You could go to a show for $10
to be present for the death of hair rock, the old 80s hair bands, and watch Nirvana and Pearl Jam,
Green Day for $5 shows at First Avenue in Minneapolis, or
like that.
Oh
that was a move. Like I was a freshman in high school in 91, I think 91. Yeah. Cause I graduated in 95.
Yeah.
That music scene during that time was
amazing.
Wild.
Jane's Addiction.
Oh, Absolutely. Alice in Chains.
Pearl Jam 10 CD. I wore
Yes.
that out.
Yeah, that
Smashing
was
Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah,
Mighty Mighty
Soundgarden.
Bosstones, Soundgarden. I could go on.
I know.
And you know what you didn't see at those shows? A bunch of people holding their damn cell phones up recording a video that they'll never watch.
No, everybody was dressed
They were
in
in the
flannel,
moment.
tied around their waist with like baggy jeans.
They're jumping around, having a good time in the moment. What a
Yeah.
great time to be alive.
It was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. I remember seeing Stone Temple Pilots when they were just starting out. They were small. Butthole Surfers.
Butthole Surfers. Good stuff. L7. Remember L7, the female
No.
band?
I do not.
Oh, God, so much good stuff. Yeah.
I think about it often. We just had my 30th high school reunion the other day,
Yeah.
last Saturday
You
night.
go?
Yeah, I ran it. I was in charge. Myself and one of the girls from our class, because I was senior class president.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you were on the lacrosse
Doesn't
team.
surprise you, does it?
No, you've been.
So
I can see you back when you're 18 running the room like you are now, like just, yeah.
I wish I was better at it back then. I was good, but I was not like I am now. I wish I had these life skills in me back then. I would, like, if I was a kid again right now with all the opportunities that are available, and holy shit.
But see, we weren't mature enough back then to know. Like, I was just talking to my lieutenant about this, about the Navy. He was in the Navy. I was in the Army for a little while. I said, I wish I could go back now and go join the Navy now and go on an aircraft, because I've always been fascinated with aircraft carriers. He goes, oh, you would have hated it. I'm like, I don't care. It would have been fun to go do a few years just for the experience. But I wish I could go with my mindset now. I wish I knew now and take that and as an 18-year-old kid and go join the service and just enjoy the process. And I don't know, it would have been fun. Cool experience, great stories, That's what happens with the end of your career too. When you get pushing 25 years in the fire service, you kind of realize, oh man, this is coming to an end, Look at all the stories and the fun.
Well, we've talked about that, right? But I think about what we're talking about right now. Like, it's a great segue, right? Because I mean, you think about your upbringing, those memories that stick with us, right? Like, I love being able to have those memories. And then I look at now, like with my kids or guys in the firehouse, like you get to share those memories and make new memories with the guys that you're with. And like, I just, I look so we have a dinner coming up in October called Old Timers, and we invite back all the guys that have come and gone, and that's my favorite night. And it's a beefsteak. Do you know what a beefsteak is?
Is it a sandwich with chips?
No, God, no. Nope. It is. So beefsteaks are popular in the Northeast. They're a dinner. It's an informal, casual dinner. They serve sliced filet mignon, like a quarter-inch thick. They dip it in butter and put it on a piece of bread.
Oh,
and they bring
good.
trays and trays and trays out, and you eat until you can't eat anymore, and you pile up all the bread, because nobody eats the bread. You pile up the bread in the middle of the table and make like a tower to see how many. So if you're sitting at a table with a bunch of rock stars that are just crushing meat, the tower can literally be like 2 feet tall by like a foot wide. Like there could be 300 pieces of bread, right? So that's a beefsteak. And then they serve like French fries with it and stuff and so on. So it's an informal dinner. So beefsteaks are pretty popular around here. And our old timers dinner is, we just bring the old guys back. And you instantly, like when you see faces you don't see for quite some time, you have instant return of memories that you shared with those people. I fucking love them.
Yeah, because there's always that story that you might have a story of that time you went to a fire and you had an experience with like one person, and you'll always have that, remember that time we, pushed into that house and went left, and the RV was on fire next to the house, and or just whatever, I remember one time.
Even our greatest wins, I don't even find us talking about that much. It's a good job, that's a good job, that type of thing. We always talk about the laughter or the mistakes or the comedy that happens on every step of being a fireman, right? It's like whether you're at an actual job. I mean, some of the laughter comes from benign calls that were bullshit, but something happened during it, right? woman runs out naked, or it's like your buddy's mom shows up, and it's just like that type of shit, right? Like that's the stuff that I think fuels the storytelling, and those stories are important, man. And I don't want people to miss out on those stories during their careers, whether in the volunteer firehouse or in the career fire service. Like you don't want to miss out on the stories.
No, because the older you get, the more you're going to be telling those stories.
That's all you got.
Because, back then when that story happened, like we caught a hydrant. I think we laid 1,000 feet of 5-inch. Okay. It was the second fire of the night. It was the middle of the night. It was an RV fire next to the house, burn up, or whatever. It was pouring rain. We're tired. Okay. 2, 3 in the morning, right? And there was a hydrant in the front yard. And we laid 1,000 feet. And all of us were sitting there just dead tired going, we got to pick all this 5-inch up. And we were pissed. And I tell that story all the time because I was sitting on the back of the truck. My lieutenant walks up. He goes, how you doing, Shimek? I said, I'm over it. I don't want to do this anymore.
We're moving on.
I said, I want to go home right now. And he's just like, he tells that story. He's like, the look in your eyes, Shimek, is like you were just defeated and done. And you knew you had an hour's worth of work picking all that damn hose up from down the street, and there's that hydrant just staring at you in the front yard, 25, 30 feet from the door, from the garage is just this hydrant. It's like, and that's a great story. And
we had like a contents fire in a house with some extension. We were able to hold it with tank water, but the 5-inch was laid, and I'm yelling like, don't fucking charge the line. Don't fucking charge the line. Right. I'd much rather, repack a bed that we dropped, and it was probably like 600-800 feet, something like that. Right. And I would much rather pick it up dry than having to, uncouple it and walk it out and rack it. And I'm like, don't charge the line. Don't charge the line. I'm on the radio. Don't charge the line. Right. And what happens?
They charged it.
15, 20 seconds later, here comes the water up the line. You're like, oh, man, we still got half a tank in the engine. We got another engine parked right next to me if I needed to cheat with anything. Didn't need the line charge. They charged it.
Yeah, it sucks. It's the worst part. It's the worst part of fighting fire is picking up the 5-inch hose, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I love the banter and the laughter that comes with it, right? Because where we are, like, everybody gets in line and everybody's helping to pack that.
Well, you have to. You better. And it's one of the first things you learn is if you see, a chief or a lieutenant up there doing work, or if people are standing there loading hose, you better be on your ass or off your ass helping load that hose, So.
Yeah, well, we got some guys that are better than everyone, and they'll find miscellaneous tasks to get out of it. But I mean, I enjoy the laughter and the stories and the
grab ass and the
right. I mean,
it's what outsiders don't realize is that's our bonding time. When they're messing with you and when they have nothing good to say to you, that's when they're telling you that they love you and I appreciate you.
Yeah, and it's making stories, man, and that's all we got. Like at the end of the day, like that's it. Enjoy it. Like we were talking about it, and I said, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
you're doing it wrong.
No, you're right.
And you can fix that. Like you can literally fix that. I know some things are out of your control. Control what you can control, right? But at the end of the day, like if you're fucking miserable in the firehouse or you're miserable going to fire calls, and I get like some companies are getting their teeth kicked in, and I get that. But there's still, even in a 20-run day, a 25-run day, there is still those little slivers of like humanity that creeps in where you're having a laugh and you enjoy each other's company, or you had a high note on that last call. Like that stuff still exists. So you have to find it, right? For those guys that are running like that, I get it, man. Some days are a grind and some days it's not fun. For guys that are in firehouses with shitty bosses and shitty leadership and they're not allowed to even enjoy it, that sucks, man. But there's still those little things that you can control. And I think that's important to reiterate because sometimes the little stuff gets lost, and it's the little things that create great storytelling, 20 years later.
Well, and we can control how we react to everything too. So the words coming out of our mouths, we can control that. I made a conscious effort in the last 3 years of my career to make sure that I don't want to have anyone see me complaining at work. My goal is to not let anyone, these younger guys, I don't want them to remember me as the guy complaining and left here bitching. So I've I make a conscious effort. Like I'm not going to complain. We should be having fun, like you're saying. This should be fun. We're 3-4 dudes living together, running calls, playing grab ass, joking around. It's not rocket science. We should be having fun. We're lucky to get to do this. I could be selling tires. I always bring up tires for some reason.
Have you watched Tires on Netflix?
I have. I like him.
Shane Gillis?
Shane, he's funny.
I could see you in that script. Like, I could see you working in that store.
That mindless getting up every day, just selling tires. I use that as an example all the time. Like, I don't know what else I would be doing. I fell into this career a little bit, and I'm looking back now realizing I probably would be selling tires. And
bicycle repair, bro.
Well, bike repair, but yeah, I am highly qualified.
Overqualified.
It's the only college I graduated from.
Have you found your certificate yet? Your diploma?
Yeah, it's right here. I'm actually going today.
I think it should get on the wall somewhere in your backdrop. I think that should be framed as part of your credentials.
United Bicycle Institute.
That's fucking amazing. That's gold.
Don't mean to flash around the credentials, people, but
look at that.
Okay.
Well, you do have a first name.
Yeah, it's Chris. Ugh.
You don't look like a Chris. No, actually, you Chris, do. The kid from Family Guy's Chris, right? Because you kind of look like him a little bit.
The camera puts on 20 pounds. We all know.
Is that what it is?
No, I'm going to get that framed because you know how people, they frame their like, I'm a lawyer.
That's what I'm saying.
PhD. I'm going to frame my Bicycle Mechanic Institute.
I think you should. It's a proud moment for you.
Proud moment. And anything, as you know, we've known each other long enough now, anything to get a laugh out of somebody, I'm willing to do it. So
framing with you. We're tight now.
Going into Hobby Lobby and asking the nice lady to frame this professionally.
Can you video that for me? That's gold. Like, that's literally gold.
Just to have people walk into my house go, really? Really? I'm like, yeah.
Quite a conversation starter.
It is.
Right?
Yeah. It's all perspective. But, we're having a good time. Like,
isn't that what we're supposed to be doing?
You should be. If you're not, you're doing it wrong. You might need to reevaluate what you're doing in the first place, or maybe who you're around. Your company you keep is important.
How about outside the firehouse?
Outside the firehouse, I've learned in my 48 years on this planet, you need to be the dumbest and ugliest guy in the room because that means you're in the right room.
I win.
Yep. And like, I'll use Little Rock, for instance. I got to tag along with you. I thank you again for allowing that, Chief McCoy. Of course, man. Everybody that was
great.
Little Rock was amazing. But when you realize you're surrounding yourself with people that are way better than you or smarter, then you're good. You're in the right room. Because if you look around and you're the smartest guy in the room,
yeah, there's no growth.
There's no growth. There's nothing to learn there. And so
give me a little rundown on your thoughts after you've what we're talking about is the First In Fire Conference in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's my second year, I think, speaking there. Ryan McCormick runs it. They do a fantastic job. That conference is growing in just 2 or 3 years now. It's really gaining some ground there. So I asked Shimek to join me because he was only 6 hours away or whatever it was. So you drove over and met me for the night. And then I spoke the next day. And then I invited you to join me up in front of everyone and to just give a little spiel about conversation is ventilation. And I think your conversation and information is important. And that's why I wanted to share that in a room of firefighters that I thought, excuse me, your message resonates with many. And I want to hear about your impressions of Little Rock doing that. That's really your first time outside of your own department talking about it. And then, I kind of want to hear like some feedback if you got any too.
Well, I've dabbled a little bit. I went down to a department near Birmingham. So yeah, you were really the first one to go, hey, I'm going to give you some time if you show up. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to let you get up, whether it's I was planning on 15 minutes. Like if I get 15, we're going to make it, and you got me up and it was great. And you kind of, first thing you did is you said, okay, if this is what you're doing and you have to back up what you're saying. Sometimes when someone opens the door, are you willing to go through it? So I got in the van and we drove to Little Rock and, I was willing to sleep in the van if I had to because I had Howie with me.
Howie.
But we got up, and it was great, and the response was great. Several people, came up to me after the talk, and we had some conversations. I've had some, social media stuff, some contact with some people. So it just shows me once again that there's always somebody that wants to talk about something, and it also showed me that this isn't anywhere near done or complete or whatever word you want to use. It's
What do you mean? Your message, your program, like that type of thing? What do you mean by that? What's not done?
I was driving home after we got done in Little Rock, and I'm like, okay, this is never going to be boxed in, complete, finished. It's never going to be. It can't be. You can't complete a conversation, and a conversation at any time can be talking about chicken fingers that can lead to, relationship. There's no way. We
just proved that for the last 31 minutes.
You can't contain it. So I need to stop worrying about boxing this in. I'm done trying to figure it out. It's going to be whatever it needs to be at that moment. And I think, I think I'm going to start being okay with going, I don't really know what this is. It's just, it is what it is. And
I think you got to put parameters to it though, because you have to kind of dial in at least to make sure that the message resonates and what you've created, because that's, from an outsider looking in and getting to know you now and spending, we went to dinner that night, just you and I, and it was like nice to kind of just, we've done several podcasts together now, and I've gotten to know you, and, going to dinner with you was nice because we kind of unpacked a lot of shit, and like, I kind of was spitfiring about things that I'm doing and working on. It was just it was an enjoyable night. And I got to know you better. And I value that, because what I look at, and I said this at the conference, and I'll say it out loud on here, I think so much of the mental health being discussed in the fire service is grandstanding. I think that there is a lot of bullshit and a lot of nonsense in the system. Now, the fact that we are finding the ability to talk about a topic that never got talked about years ago is great. Mm-hmm. What I look at is credibility and also deliverability of the message, and being there for people that truly need something. And what your message does, it gives some simple tools, if you want to call them tools. It just talks about the importance of conversation and the importance of just looking around you, paying attention, going in on your people. I'm not even asking you to go to everybody's bar mitzvah or birthday party. This is more in the firehouse. You can see it on somebody's face, or the calls those guys just ran on the medic, running the bus all day long, and they're getting their teeth kicked in. And later that night, the kid has 10 minutes and he's pacing the apron like you talk about. Like, it's dialing in enough to know that you're watching those around you and you're willing to just be there or say something. And it can be a simple cup of coffee, or it can be a simple, cigar on the ramp, or even just a, hey man, you good? Like, that to me is really the beginning of how we take care of one another. Now, there's going to be people that need professional help. There's going to be people that need more than a conversation. But I can tell you from personal experience with people that I know and storytelling through the podcast, is most of this starts with a conversation. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing, when somebody's ready, when they're pacing back and forth, they're looking for somebody, give them an opportunity. That's it. They don't know how to take the opportunity themselves. They might be lost and fumbling and don't know how to do it. But God forbid, or God help if a 20-year guy or even a 4-year guy just looks over and says, hey man, you good? That just might be that green light. That just might be that cursory conversation that opens it up for that guy. And then wherever it needs to go, it goes. But just giving somebody the opportunity to speak is so important.
This is exactly what I needed starting in 2004. And I'm realizing that the CIV is kind of turning into what I needed and what I know we need to do better. And so I'm turning around and I'm realizing we need to do a better job with these new guys, because these new guys were me 21, 22 years ago. We're on the same team. And I think we forgot that. Sometimes we don't we don't want to seem weak. We've talked about this. We don't want to seem weak or unfit to do the job, but we're also on the same team. We also go on the same calls, and these things need to be discussed, I think. I really do. I think that smoke needs to be ventilated out of that box. And it's healthy. And like you said, just a simple conversation over a cup of coffee you don't know where that's going to go, or you also don't know how much that person needed that. They may never tell you that.
Without a doubt. And I just think about how you put it together. Your message, of course, is speaking to people to understand that there's going to be struggles. You talk about guys in your own department that had to deal with, multiple children, deaths in their early parts of their career. And one of the kids just being like, I don't know if I can do this for 20, 25 years, right? Like that's a very real conversation. And what you talk about doesn't just talk about greenlighting those people to be able to talk about it. I love the other part of what you do, and that is telling the people within the community to pay attention. Like, it's one thing to talk to the people that have the struggles, right? It's another thing to talk to everyone around them, to be open enough, especially in the world in which we live today, where we're so distracted by our own shit that we don't walk around. I talk about it all the time, right? Walk around with your head up instead of your head down. Like you mentioned it before, those 90s concerts, nobody was on their phones, right? Everybody was in the moment, enjoying what's in front of them. We're in a society today where we don't necessarily do that. So we're not focusing on others. We're only focused on ourselves. And the art of a conversation is two-way. Typically, even if the other person in the conversation doesn't speak, the emotion on their face, the relief coming off their shoulders, you speak not just in words, but in physical attributes too. And so the art of a conversation is two people or more going back and forth, a response and an answer, right? Like, and I just, the art of that is getting lost. And Gab.
Not only is it getting lost, it's, I was going to say it's getting worse, I think, because I was thinking about this morning. How many times do you walk around the fire station and guys have their earbuds in?
Sure.
We're not even, when we're together.
People driving in the car by themselves.
We're not even together anymore when we're together. And sometimes, how many times have you done this? When someone's talking, you'll pause and go, are you talking to me or are you on the phone?
What? I do it to my wife every day.
Oh, like, okay, because you're in the room with me talking, and I didn't know if we're having a conversation right now or if you're doing that. Like, we're not even present when we're present. And so it's getting worse because when I started in 01 or 04, excuse me, we were less likely to have our phones and earbuds in, like it was, people bail off the truck and go to their cubicles, or they're on their phones, or they're in their earbuds, so many times you'll be sitting there in the day room and looking around and everyone's looking at their phone and it's dead silent. And the TV's on, of course, because that's the backup screen to the screen in your hand. It's the backup distraction for the distraction so God forbid, so we're not even together. So then that kid that's sitting next to you might just be crumbling. And he's not, let's face it, most people are not going to come out and go, hey man, I'm really having a hard time. It takes so much strength to do that. Some people need a little help getting there to go, hey, that call last night was pretty fucked up, or, that the mother's screaming, or just, and you just have to kind of open those doors and let that water out a little bit, let that smoke flow. And next thing you know, if they're hurting or they want to add something, they'll add it. You don't have to ask them to, they'll do it. And most people, in my opinion, and in my experience so far, have something they want to talk about. They just need to get in an environment where they feel comfortable talking about it. It's as simple as that. I don't know a single first responder. Remember when I got up in front of, I came to Little Rock knowing I wanted to hit them hard because if I only had 15 minutes. And I said, raise your hand if you've ever held a dead child. You remember?
I would say 80% of that room
I was
had their hands
100 because I didn't see any.
Yeah.
But the whole room was sitting there with their hand up, dead silent. And I don't know if anybody was on their phones, but at that moment, they probably weren't. And then I said, look around. I said, we're in a room full of people that understand each other. We all understand each other, but yet we don't want to talk about this. And for the next 15, 20 minutes, we're going to talk about it. And I'd like to think that I had everyone's attention. At least that's what I'm going to tell my mom when she calls.
Did a good job, Mom.
Because there's not a first responder or doctor or nurse or jailer. There's no one on this planet that doesn't have at least one thing they'd love to talk about. And that's where, the blue shirts get blue shirts. Let's talk about it.
I love that. You were saying that, and I love that. The blue shirts get the blue shirts.
Yeah. What can we learn from it? Maybe you just need to tell that story to feel better about it. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. Sometimes you just want to retell a story that maybe bugs you a little bit.
So you had 6 hours to drive home that next day. What was that drive like for you?
It was a up and down emotional, like, that was great. And then 30 minutes later, like, I'm terrible. And then I saw a picture of my head from the side. I'm like, fuck, is my head really that big?
It is pretty big. I'm not going to lie. Like it's bigger than it should be on that frame.
Yeah. And then someone said you look skinny. I'm like, oh, good. But then I thought, yeah, but then that means I was fatter than, and then you think about, well, do people listen? And I feel like they do. And you get that you get that initial response from people who want to come up to you or, and that you hit
afterwards, right afterwards, right?
Yeah. And so that gives you a really good feeling. Okay. I
connected,
and you get some friend requests or you get some contacts or you get some people, through social media. So you're like, okay, this is worthwhile. But then you go through that moment where you just feel like a giant piece of shit. And I'm sure you can understand.
What do you mean by that?
Don't you ever get off, and granted, I'm very new, but don't you ever just get off stage and go, that was terrible.
Yep.
I'm an idiot. Yep. I can't believe people listen to me.
Yes.
I'm a moral. Yeah.
But I also know that is part of my process, and I am my harshest critic. And where I think I scored a 60, it was probably in everybody else's eyes like a 90. Right. So like,
okay,
I'm harder on myself. I'm my own worst critic. Right. And so like, I've had to come to understand that. And it's funny because a couple guys that I keep close to me that we talk, they're like, oh, how'd it go? And I'm like, it was like a 75. And they're like, what happened? And I go, well, I forgot this story. I didn't tell this. I didn't say this. I didn't make the connection here. He goes, and then the next thing is, well, what did the audience think? And I'm like, they thought I knocked it out of the park. They were, it was a really good conversation. The audience doesn't notice the little things if they don't know, right? So it's you as a craftsman. If you're going to put together a program and you do it regularly, those little nuances. And like when I spoke the other day in Noblesville, Indiana, right? That was the last part of that trip, right? And I did the keynote in the morning, and then I did abbreviated version of my program in the afternoon. The morning went pretty well. It was new material. I thought it went pretty well. I give myself like an 80, 85 on that. The afternoon, my Bridging the Gap program that I condensed down for them to an hour long. It's a 3-hour workshop, but I did it in an hour for them and cut out a ton of stuff. That hour crushed. Like that was one of my best put together, well-oiled, emotional, like grabbing the audience is leaning forward the whole time. Like had the room. Those are the ones that when you come off, you go, damn, that was good. Like that felt good. I know my material solid. The delivery was good. There was emotion in the room. People clapped like during it. People agreed with certain things. People understood what I was like. You make those physical and emotional connections. Those are the ones where you walk away and go, okay, that was good. That's why I do this. Right.
Mm-hmm. And I realized too, when I was driving home, I said, I think we talked about it at dinner, but I said to myself that there's way more of an entertainment to this as well. Because you can have a great message, but you have to be able to present it in a certain way to where you're almost an entertainer. You're almost, because
100%. You have to be a showman.
You have to be a showman. In order to get people to listen to you for more than 30 seconds, you really have to entertain. And you got to sprinkle in your message, but you also got to, there's an entertainment to this. And will come with, doing it more and more. But it was a great experience. I shouldn't say good. It was a great experience. I'm very thankful. And, I hope this is the start of more, So.
Well, I think the message is good. I think you have to, as much as you said, you're going to craft it as you go and depending on the audience and the crowd, I still think you need to have your core your core of the program, and then you can build out around those. But that just comes with time and experience. And, but I see tremendous value in what you do. I think your message is so simple that is why I think it can be incredibly successful for you and also the fire service. I'm kind of tired of all this talk about mental health and no one offering any type of everyday solutions or simplicity to what it truly could be to at least get the ball rolling. I think it's become, and I think a lot of people in the fire service have come to, oh, it's great that mental health is at the forefront of the fire service. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of snake oil with it, and I think there's a lot of bullshit built in. And to be honest, I don't want to see the importance of this conversation can't be overshadowed by the pomp and circumstance that people want to portray as their mental health warriors for the fire service. I fucking
Unfortunately,
hate that. I hate it.
It'll be filed probably under mental health, but I don't know. You brought it up a while back about how you probably shouldn't lead with the mental health thing, or you shouldn't, what am I trying to say? Like, I'm going to try to stop saying mental health as much as possible because I don't want it to I don't want to give you the stigma, the preconceived notion of what I'm about to say. So instead, I think I'm going to focus, like I was saying, about more of the production of it, the more of the conversation, the more of the storytelling, more of you sprinkle in what we're talking. It's really, it's growing. It's becoming what it's becoming, but I'm all over the board. We need some chicken fingers.
It's hilarious you just said that because as you were talking, I was thinking about naming this episode like late night chicken fingers or something,
Well, we've stumbled across something so simple that it's almost I struggle sometimes with even defining it because it's so simple. It's like it's just so simple, but yet
for you
it is. And I think my role right now is just going in and every time I can get in front of one person or 100 or whatever, is just starting these conversations and having these discussions about, my personal experience and, the anxieties and, the failures at the beginning that created this blanket of anxiety, which created a guy who didn't really want to promote, which created a guy who's getting ready to retire, so I can go back on my personal experience and just teach from there and explain, where I think we went wrong or where I failed, but it's hitting. And that's what's weird. It's hitting.
Well, I think your message is real and that's why it resonates. And, I just, there's value here. And for me, that's important because, if you want to make an impact on those around you, give them information they can do something with. And, I'm tired of the fluff, and I'm guilty of it at times, just putting shit out for the sake of putting it out. But, there's a message here, and that's kind of why I wanted you to come, because I wanted to see it myself. And, we've talked about working on some more things together and so on. So it was a fun experience to witness for sure.
Absolutely.
So I thought you did well. I thought you were a little flat. I'm not going to lie. I think you were nervous. I think you have a pretty big personality, but you didn't introduce a lot of your own personality to it.
I agree with that. I told you when we got done, I said I felt really weird about the time because I wasn't really giving you what I have so far of my program. I was kind of giving you a slice out of it. So I felt really weird jumping in. So it started off a little slow, but yeah, it's a learning experience. I think every time, so.
Yeah, but I think it's a great opportunity for you. I think the message is strong. I think, as you craft this and you go at like my stuff that I do over time, it evolves into what it is. And then, in 3 weeks, like I just rolled out a new class because my original program would innovate over doing it now 3 years. My original program has developed into something a little bit different. So I wanted to take what started changing the original message and turn that into its own program. So now I have 2 classes instead of 1. And I think that's how you build off of what you're your foundation, right? Like you continually build upon what you're putting together. Does it make sense?
It's funny you say foundation too, because that's the name of the program actually, or the working title is the foundation of a rookie. Because I think we need to, from the moment they walk
Wasn't
in
it
the
you
door.
that said rookie construction?
Yes, I have that written
I
down.
love that.
That's one of my.
That's a
'cause I
great
think-
title.
Because yeah, if we get in the mindset from the moment the new guy, if I walk in the door in 2004, if they would have looked at me and we look at the new guys today and go, look, we are constructing a lieutenant. You know, so if we have a different mindset and we some of these things we've, fallen short on, if we fix those from the beginning and we look at these kids as future lieutenants and captains and they're moving up and we're going to build them up to be in charge, because in a very short time they're going to be in charge with staffing and the way things are. It's very quick. So rookie construction,
And these younger kids are looking for direction, right? They want to understand the expectations. They want to know what they're supposed to do. They want to know where they belong, how they fit in.
Mhm.
So we as older guys have to do a better job at really painting a clear and precise picture for them so they can help them find their way. That's important.
and that's where I feel like I was failed, and that's where I want to do a better job for the guys behind me. And so by us just saying that is the start of a better path for the new guys. So rookie construction, if you looked at every new hire as future bosses, future captains and lieutenants and chiefs, if you kept that mindset the whole time and you said, okay, what are we doing to make sure Shimek's going to be a great captain in 5 years, 10 years? He's going to be in charge someday.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Well, not me, unfortunately.
Not me. So what else is going on? Anything else going on in your life?
No,
What are we doing today? Anything?
A little jackassing around the house.
You got your jersey on. What's the occasion?
Well, the new Huntsville Havoc jerseys came out. Got my name on it and everything.
65. What's 65?
That's my favorite number. Andrew Shaw with the Chicago Blackhawks a few years ago. He was a centerman, number 65. I loved the way he played. Met him one time at Wrigley Field, of all places, too. So I've always been the number 65. All my jerseys for my league and my beer league that I play, I'm always 65.
65.
65.
I'm 71.
Okay. Plus, I-65 runs down from Chicago all the way into Huntsville, Alabama. So if you want to find me, just get on the old 65 and head south. You'll run right into us. You know what I mean?
I do. I do.
What else about you? What do you got going on?
I'm back for at least a week, and then I take off again on some more projects. Working on some really fun things that for 26, we got some new projects coming out. We're going to be launching. This is pretty cool. I can kind of do a little teaser here. This is brandy new. Nobody has seen these yet.
Oh,
Legacy Fire cards are coming out.
nice.
This is a branded project with Taylor from Taylor's Tins.
Nice.
So these are coming out. They are trading cards for the fire service. It's a generational trading card that is designed for educating kids, but also adults on things of the fire service. So cool packaging, rip open the package, logos, monikers on the back for the project. And then you have everything from apparatus cards to historical fires with information. This is the wall-bound supermarket fire in New York City, where several firemen were killed. Some firehouse pictures, more apparatus. We have historical items in the fire service too. Like here's the story of the Dalmatian dog, like why the Dalmatian is important to the fire service, right? More firehouses, more trucks, this and that. What's really cool though is there's going to be some holographic cards in there. So we have like regular cards, and then we have rare, and then we have ultra rare for the collectability side. So collecting is very popular right now. We saw these as a great mechanism for educating the fire service, and it's like a father-son type thing, or a mother-son or mother-daughter, whatever. Whoever collects a guy can grab these from a conference or buy them on the website, and they can get them for themselves if they're a collector and they want to, go through fire cards, or they can share them with their children, and the kids can collect them. And what's really cool about it is when I was growing up, there was a real nostalgia. I'm having a nostalgia around trading cards because I remember going and getting the cardboard cards that were like baseball cards, but they had like fire trucks on them and stuff, and they had different series. So Legacy Fire Cards is exactly that. That's what it's designed for. It's designed to get conversation going. We're showing off departments that we've done projects with. We're educating the fire service on different history items. And then there's a collectability side to it and so on. So it's a fun project that's launching. And again, it's between myself and Taylor, Taylor's Tins and National Fire Radio. This has been a 2-year passion project for me. I'm excited to get this launched. So Black Friday. Black Friday of this year, Legacy Fire Cards will launch.
Okay.
We're going to do live selling on Black Friday, and so on. So here, I'll open up another pack while I'm talking to you. Let's see what's in it. So we got some apparatus. Here's Smokey Joe Martin, the Halligan tool. So we got, apparatus cards, Smokey Joe Martin. Right? These are historical figures in the fire service that you should know. The history of tools. So here's the Halligan bar. So it gives you the history of the Halligan bar. Some more apparatus, some firehouses. Oh, here's a good one. Does this look familiar?
Yeah.
Emergency, right? So the history of Emergency, the TV show. Johnny and Roy. And then some more firehouses. Here's a holographic one. That's the Fire Life Net. So it gives you the history around that. So it's pretty cool, man. I'm super excited to get these cards launched into the fire service. We have series 1 is complete. It's 80 cards, and I think it's 75 or 80 cards in the series. We have original art cards from Zach Newton. Zach is very popular across social media, so some of his artwork just for the cards has been developed, so you can collect his original artwork in the trading cards as well. They're coming out on Black Friday of this year. LegacyFirecards.com is where you can get them. We're going to do some live selling, a ton of giveaways. This is a big project, and we call it Legacy because we want to build legacy in the fire service. And it's pretty cool. Right on the front of the packaging, it says Legacy Fire Cards, preserve, educate, and collect. A modern trading card preserving the history and traditions of the fire service.
I dig it. This is the first time hearing about this.
Really? I haven't told you about this?
No.
Yeah, man, this has been a massive project that we've been working on. So I'm very excited to get that launched. We'll be sending out packs to friends and getting them out there. I think there's going to be a good response. I hope there is.
I think you're going to have a great response.
I think so. I hope so. So I'm excited. So it's cool. You get 10 cards. This is just 2 packs. So you get 10 cards in a pack. If you buy a box, we have like the display boxes. So it's, they pop up with the display on it. What's really freaking cool, I don't know if you can see it, but my father and myself are in there in a black and white photo. I don't know. If
it's a little hard to see, but
hard to see.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
So, but very cool, man. It's his.
Have we thought about well, maybe I'll do it off.
Sealed boxes. So the boxes are sealed. So if you buy a box, you could buy a box of these, and it's
whole set.
30. No, it's not. So the whole idea is to buy to collect, right? We want people to collect the series. We want people to trade. We want Facebook groups where people can find cards, eBay, that type of thing too, because there's going to be some ultra rare collectibles in there, and so on. So we're excited to find the people that get the ultra rare cards, and so on. So I think that's exciting. So it's not the box is 30 packs, so you'll get 300 cards, but it doesn't mean that you'll get every card in the series. So pretty cool.
Wow.
So we're excited. That's coming out Black Friday. I got a ton of other projects going on and speaking events and so on. But NFR is we are 100 miles an hour, as you know. When we were at dinner that night, I kind of was filling you in on some of the things we're doing. What's that face you're making?
So fast. You're going
wild.
so fast.
Isn't it wild?
No one will ever understand how much you have going on until they sit down with you and have some chicken fingers and just go, boy, you were busy.
You think so or no?
Because you unless you see it in person, you just don't know how much. And I'm just seeing a little bit from the outside. You are so busy. Have you ever slept in?
Yeah, I do.
When's the last time you slept till 9 o'clock Eastern time?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's not sleeping in, you know, like
That's not sleeping in.
I mean, 9 o'clock is a delicious number. Like I would love to lay in bed till 9 o'clock. You know what? Maybe I'll tell you this last Sunday I left. I flew out Sunday afternoon to go on a trip Sunday, Monday, and I flew back Tuesday. 2 full days on the road shooting content. After Tuesday, full day, jumped on a plane, came home. But Sunday was a totally chill day for me. And I was home this past Sunday, woke up later than you, probably 8 o'clock. I usually get up on the weekends by 7, pour a cup of coffee. I go outside on I have like a screened in patio. I have that's where I watch golf on Sunday afternoons, smoke a cigar. It's kind of like my guy hangout area. Screened in, I have a TV on the wall, you know, and it's a great little hiding nook for me, right? Everybody leaves me alone out there. I love going out there on Sunday mornings, having a cup of coffee. Now that it's like shorts and sweatshirt weather, which I love, right? So I go out there Sunday mornings and I have a cup of coffee, have a second cup of coffee, and I just get to relax. And then usually I'll go get bagels for everybody or whatever, right? But I just love it. But this past Sunday, like I slept in a little late. We laid around all day watching terrible Netflix. And then I had to get on a plane. And I needed that Sunday to reconnect with my wife and my kids. And I needed that. So yeah, I take downtime when I need it. I mean, but I'm a firm believer that I want to throw as many balls in the air as I can. Because I think that, you know, that's how you create opportunity. And I think the fire service is 100% worth fighting for. I think that my contribution to it is finding others to bring forth messages of positivity that builds this thing up instead of tearing it down. And I know it's very easy to hop on the negativity train. And I know some of my social media content, I focus on the negative, but I like to think that when I do, I'm offering something or bringing awareness to it so that we can change that, right? I think all of it's important, and I'm not one that can sit still. And I think that the fire service deserves things like legacy fire cards, and I'm excited to get that into the market. I'm excited to see what the response is. I truly hope that people are interested and excited about it. I hope people see the value in it, and maybe getting your kid a couple packs of these, you know, we'll take an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 10-year-old kid, and maybe we've been shielding them from the fire service, or maybe we come home from the firehouse and we bitch and moan about how fucking terrible it is, and we don't talk about the upside. And maybe that's why a lot of our kids aren't going into the fire service, right? It's because we've talked so negatively about it, and we always want something better for our kids. So our kids are never going to go into the fire service. Maybe a pack of cards will show the upside. Maybe it will educate them about the job that you did love at one time. And I think that shit matters. And so I hope Legacy is able to do that. And that's what I really want to stand behind. I want people to show up at my funeral, and I want them to talk about things like this. This is important. Legacy fire cards to me is a very important thing, and it's a passion project of mine that I've been wanting to do. Taylor from Taylor's Tins helped me bring this to make happen. He brought this to fruition with me. He's an incredible partner. He's one of my dearest friends. We talk literally every single day. And we worked on this project together, and I'm excited. This is series 1. Series 2 will be coming out right behind it. And then we're already in works for series 3. And we're talking about doing some other things with it too. So this could turn into a machine, which is exciting.
Very, very cool. I think the older guys are going to love it.
I hope so.
I think the old gray hairs sitting around the station are going to be collecting cards.
Yeah. The font on them are a little small.
Well,
so the history cards, the guys are going to definitely have to put their glasses on to be able to read the history.
I'll treat you hell again.
But, right. I got the wall bombs. Do you have the City of Rye, New York, or do you have the rescue engine from Westchester, PA? Look at this beauty.
I've been watching that card. What do you take for it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell yeah. So I'm excited, man. I'm very excited.
Cool.
We'll see what happens. So that's what's going on top of everything else.
All right.
So, yeah. But I appreciate it, and I'm going to be promoting the hell out of it. And, I never ask anybody for anything. This is going to be my ask. I'm okay with that in my brain. Like, on Black Friday when we launch this and leading up to it, we're going to be talking about it. I'm excited to ask because I've never really asked the fire service for anything, which is pretty wild, right? I'm not out there promoting T-shirts and all this shit. Most of the stuff I have, I give away most of the time, if I'm on the road and people stop me and ask me for stuff. So I'm never asking or wanting to take. This, to me, I'm gonna ask. This is my ask. In 7 years of National Fire Radio, LFC, Legacy Fire Cards, this would be my ask. I'm excited. LegacyFirecards.com is where you can go. They will be available on Black Friday. And please, man, I appreciate the support. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun project to work on.
Dig it.
I dig you. So,
yeah, well,
thanks, man. I needed my therapy today. I appreciate you.
Just a little bit of conversation once in a while goes a long way.
I've heard that before. And to be honest with you, I value it. I needed this today. It's been a crazy couple weeks. I enjoyed my time with you in Little Rock. That was great. It was nice to catch up and get to know you a little bit better. But what you and I do here, we're just recording a conversation we would have with or without the cameras. And I would challenge people to think about who they talk to and strike up a conversation, man, because we went from chicken fingers to some serious stuff back to, legacy fire cards and everything in between. I think that's the fun of it. That's the variety that keeps it spicy.
I think if you put on a pot of coffee and stand around long enough, someone will have a conversation about something.
2 a.m. chicken fingers, bro.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We're signing off now. I'm done. Thank you for listening to me rant for the last 10 minutes. And
no, the Legacy Fire Cards is amazing. I can't believe I'm just hearing about this now. I'm a little hurt.
You'll get
over that.
Yeah.
But 2 years in the works means this is serious, and this I can tell by the way you're talking about it that this is very important to you. You don't need to sell it. Obviously, we see it. So I think it's really cool. And I think it's cool when people step up and do things just, you saw a need or you want, or, like this would be cool. And you guys got together and you made it happen. And that's really awesome.
It's fun, man, especially when it's a passion project and you're proud of something, right? Like this is something that I envisioned, and now it's physically in our hands, and it is fun. And
Taylor's Tins, he's amazing.
He's a rock star.
And you guys, you guys are out there doing, so it's amazing.
I think that's what we're supposed to be doing, man. This is not about me. It's about, building something more. And I think, again, it's putting someone ahead of yourself. Yes. Do I want people to buy these and help us? Yes, 100%. There's no doubt, but it's done in a way that we're trying to preserve and protect the future of the fire service. And that is putting the mission first. So
absolutely
important for me. So thank you, Shimek. I appreciate you. Don't go anywhere. Let's get out of here. Stay on. I'm going to hit stop. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I always love catching up with Shimek. He is my therapist, and I don't pay him a dime. So this is the best therapy I've ever gotten. So thanks for dealing with my crazy brain, and we'll see you at the next one. Jeremy, National Fire Radio.